Hi everyone, this is Minkola Berry. Welcome to my live stream, and I will be taking questions and I'll talk about South Asian trans women and the term ladyboys. And there's one more thing as well. I will talk about my experience with being, first of all, being trans person in South Asia. I'm not living in South Asia, by the way, but I'm talking about the specifically like countries like Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh. Like, what are the differences between trans people over there and trans people in Western countries and stuff? So that will be fun. Let me drink some water, guys. I pressed the live button for some reason without even, uh, preparing myself for drink or anything like that. So let me have some water and I'm gonna set this as well so that later on I won't have any problem with like faute. Yes, absolutely. So that is fine. Good. Anyway, oh my god, I dropped it. It's dripping. Sorry, guys. I was just drinking some water. Hi, Ramen. You're the first one today. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Sorry, I'm having chewing gum as well. Okay. Is it just you, Ramen, at the moment? I can't see some of the comments for some reason. Maybe nobody commented yet. I get nobody has commented, so let's go to this, okay? Let me know, guys, if I'm missing out or if your comments I can't see for some reason. Anyway, um, so South Asia and trans women, okay? As you know, in Asia, there are so many countries that makes up Asia. Asia is very big, okay? And a lot of people, when people hear Asia, they normally think about Thailand, Vietnam, um, Philippines, these type of countries like East Asian countries, Oriental countries like China, Japan, and stuff, Hong Kong and stuff. But believe it or not, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh also comes in Asia. Well, it is south part of Asia, so it's called South Asia, and that's why some of us have different type of features, like because we are the one who combine Middle East and Asia together, so we are just in the middle, like especially like the ones who are in Central Asia. So we are not exactly in Central Asia. We are, I don't know what the hell. But anyway, I'm good, Ramen. Good to see you, by the way. So for like for our type of countries, obviously, we are our countries like Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh, and these places, they're packed with diversity when it comes to religion and stuff. As for Pakistan and India, I would, and also Bangladesh, like I would say, like obviously there are so many Muslims there, but at the same time, we also have so many people with different religions and stuff. So now you're gonna be thinking, why am I mentioning religion? The reason why I'm mentioning religion because, hmm, different religion, different people from different religions, they expect different things culturally and traditionally. Uh, and they treat trans people differently. Again, it's down to individuals as well, but at the same time, like mostly it's because of how the society and how the religion dictated, and then a lot of people have no choice but to accept what is written there. But some people choose to be quiet, even if their religion goes against it. So there's a lot of shame involved in this sense, like like when it comes to trans people, because it's not very, a lot of people don't take pride in it. Like it's very shameful thing to be a trans basically in these countries. Of course, we have rights and everything, okay? I'm not saying, oh, we don't have any right at all, especially in India, place like India. In India has like in their law, like we have rights and stuff, but at the same time, society in general is not extremely like tolerant or very aware of what trans thing is, what trans community is. Basically, it's like a lot of people who are like living in Asia, like in these countries, they're not even aware like what's the difference between probably a cross-dresser or a trans or hijras or kinders and stuff, because there are so many variation in amongst trans community as well, so a lot of people like automatically think that just because you're trans, you might be like one of those people who would be dancing in weddings and begging on streets and trying to bless people when they have kids, son or daughter or something, during like a bridal shower or something, or at the time of the birth of the newborn, they come and collect some money and give blessings and stuff. So a lot of people have this cultural aspects. I don't think um again, like in Hindu culture, of course, it's like it's not just the cultural, it's also religious as well, because there are some gods and goddesses that has been like that has demonstrated like trans. And I'm not gonna go too much into details with that, but I've heard a lot about Ardhanarishwar, which is the you know again, I don't wanna. I don't have that much knowledge about that, so I'm not gonna go and define religion because of that, and that's why a lot of people, they might take it as offense or something. But I think in Hindu culture, it's much better in that sense because they have given so much. It gives so much power when you define gods and goddesses and their avatars as in Ardhanarishwar and like in Kinnar Samaj and Kinnar community and stuff. So there's so much respect involved in that sense as well. But still, like people choose to um, not tolerate it, and people choose to not understand it quite yet. That's mainly maybe because India has been so many times, like throughout the history, has been infiltrated by many other religions, specifically Abrahamic religion, without naming names, we're gonna say. And that's why so the other religions and their people brought their values and their culture to it. So that's why people's mentality throughout history has changed towards LGBTQ community. Of course, in the Mughal Empire, we still used to have like eunuchs and stuff. Okay, so eunuchs were castrated males, and they were in harem and stuff, in king's harem and stuff. So some of obviously there were some other things involved, where whether they were concubines, whether they were like just the guards of the harem for kings, or whether they were just king's consulate and stuff. So different roles that eunuchs were doing. At the same time, how trans community what we consider today, because people have more awareness. That time it was more of exception. Basically, they have, obviously that was their jobs, or it was defined as a job for trans people and stuff, like how they're supposed to live or what they can actually do. But then once the Mughal Empire finished and the trans community then of course came to the streets, basically because there was no rights and stuff for them. So there was no basically like anything that can define like, okay, these are just normal people. So basically, like trans people have never been uh, treated equally, like every other person. Basically, like, we were either like some of us were either respected as something higher being who can bestow blessings on people, or sometimes, or we were just pushed on the corner, like we can just do the traditional work, which is mainly dancing and entertaining, and the other intimate work that's not nice, basically. And that, again, like you can say, oh yeah, we still were, we existed in, and we lived in kings and palaces and stuff, but at the same time, what we were doing, we were not equals in any sense. Even if we were living in palaces, we were never equal. We may have been religious priests and stuff, but at the same time, what about the basic human right? Like, how many people will be priests and all? Like, do we have to circumcise ourselves to do that? Like, oh, not circumcise, sorry, castrate ourselves to do that, because they were castrated trans people, okay? When it comes to trans, you don't have to be like, right now I'm pre-op trans person, so for me, um, I don't think so. I could be considered as one of those who were castrated and who were actually trans. So there was like, in old days, I would have been considered maybe the fake trans, basically, because I'm not castrated. And castration was totally different that time compared to now. Now people are more like, the medical science is more advanced, so that, even if you have sex change surgeries, or if you have orchiectomy where you are castrated, basically, um, that process comes with, you have to go through local anesthetics, and you're not feeling all that pain, and the chances of your survival is much better. But in those days, you have to go through so much pain. I don't know if what they used to do for, people's pain and stuff. It's Can you imagine, like, getting chopped it off, and while you still can feel all the senses and everything, they might give you something to numb it, but numbing doesn't mean that it's nothing close to, having anesthesia, local anesthesia and stuff. So yeah, it was tough, and I'll talk about that. Let's read some comments, guys. Um, Good shape. Okay, thank you, nature. Manuel, hi. They have a lot of gods. Yes, they do actually. Yeah. Happy to watching. Okay, thank you, nature. Hi, Aral from Turkey. Alexandra, you're obsessed with your transformation. You talk a lot about it. You have decided it, and you are sure about it, and you would not talk about it this much. What does that mean? Alexandra, what does that mean? I'm obsessed with transformation. Yeah, but that is the meaning of this channel. That's why I'm making videos nowadays. Like, you do need to find a niche when you are on YouTube. You can't just blab. So that's the niche for my channel, and that's why I'm talking about it. So if you're calling that obsession, then I'm gladly obsessed about it while I'm on YouTube. Enjoy it. But you have your right. You have your choice to either watch it or not if you're so bothered by that. God, I don't know. Do you fear of castration? I was saying, if I was living in that era, if you do you understand English at all? So if I was living in that era, I would have been worried about castration, because castration at that time comes with a lot of risk and pain, and the life is not as simple as what it is nowadays. The rights were not as much as what it is right now. I think, I don't know what would I have done, to be honest. I didn't have much options, to be honest. I would have lived a life of misery, basically, compared to now. That face. Hmm? Oh my god, you look like my ex. My god, I thought it was my ex watching. Right. No, hi Noah, how are you doing? Tell us about your hobbies. I don't have that many hobbies. John Mohammed, hello. Lovely seeing you, by the way, John Mohammed. Nice seeing you. How are you? Hi Noah. Again. So, guys, I was talking about trans people, and ladyboys as well. I know the word ladyboy sounds awful sometimes to some people, especially the people in West, because the word boy that comes to with the lady. But in other cultures, in other countries, people are more tolerant towards it. I mean, in 2000s, I remember in 2000, early and late 2000s, uh, when I was like in Pakistan that time, a lot of trans community did not know the vocabulary as much, so they used to call themselves she-males, and for them it was just like way to define themselves basically, and they were actually like groups and associations that has the same name, the political group for trans people that had the same name, like she and males. So that was the name of that group. They were in politics and stuff. So yeah, so the language basically, like some people take language and get offended by words, and people always invent new words. So for me, like I don't go by it. I'm not much informed about the words and the cliches and all that, But as long as somebody, I think rather than words, the more important part is the tone people use sometimes. People can also use say trans, for example. Trans is fine, right? But if somebody's saying trans in a very dismissing way, um in a way like it doesn't sound like, oh, they're saying it in a nice way. Sometimes it comes across as if somebody's trying to put you down by saying it like in a way that is a bit rude towards you. Like the type of tune they use for saying the word, that's more important rather than just concentrating on words. And a lot of people, trust me, they go by language rather than the tone of the person who's trying to say it. Yeah, ladyboy is usually used in Thailand. But again, lady and boy, whether it's ladyboy, it's not a Thai word, right? It's English word, ladyboy. But for the word in Thailand, it's katoi. So the ladyboy is actually the word that has been given to them, or there will be so many people who will debate about it, where it actually come from and stuff. Um, so that probably have come from like maybe within themselves or within like people outside, where they had to define themselves like who they are. So they probably at the first were people who tried to explain themselves when they were not aware about the word trans and stuff. So they start defining themselves as lady because they looked like lady, and boy because they had, you know, the ones who were pre-op, they had to define that part as boy. So that's why they probably have called lady boy. But again, there are different definitions for different people without offending anyone. But I would say again, like language, it keeps changing. Like right now, we can still say it, but maybe in future, like when they will be more aware of subjects and language police and stuff, maybe things will be different. Who knows? Gay women means, so gay women are lesbians basically. Exactly. Hi Blink, how are you doing? Lovely to see you, Blink. Long time, huh? Where have you disappeared? Oh, thank you, John Mohammed. I'm glad you caught my live stream. Jessie Gray. Well, I'm Jess, and I have watched a lot of your clips, and I have sat back anyway, but everything you talk about has extremely helpful information as well, okay? Oh, thank you, Jesse. I'm glad that you find it helpful. Problem is, like, my views could be a bit, off-putting for some people because I might be a little bit like loudmouth, but I'm not a bad person. Like, I genuinely have the good intentions towards trans community, and and throughout, like, to all the people, including the biological women, including the LGBT, like even gay guys or lesbians or something. I stand for everything. Like I'm not that selfish who's gonna be like thinking about, okay, my rights matter but nobody else's rights matter. I'm not gonna be like that. So I always talk about in a sense that can help out, that can actually work out without having clashes from different people, because we have to live among society where we have to live amongst each other, right? So thank you so much. That makes you a very open-minded person, so I like it, Jesse. Thank you. um yeah, I've been busy. Oh my God, Blink. You're amazing. Good. Uh, Alexandra, your message has been retracted. What did you write, huh? Hi, dear. Not feeling good today due to HRT. So emotional. Oh my God, Haya. If you feel, guys, if you are having a any sort of depression, rather than going on antidepressants or anything like that, have Earl Grey tea. It really helps in depression. Earl Grey tea. Have some Earl Grey tea. There you go. I told you something. Have Earl Grey tea. Watch something nice, comedy and stuff. Try to divert your mind from it. Yeah. And a lot of times, like, we are depressed mainly because we're not working towards something that we should be working on, and instead we are trying to find our concentration and focus on different things. So figure out what thing really needs your attention and give it your attention. Go for it. Don't procrastinate. You will find better. But if it's just HRT related, if you think, because if it is HRT related, then Earl Grey tea. Have Earl Grey tea. Tony Shear, hi. Thanks. It's Japan, it's Toyama Prefecture. If you come, I want to eat delicious rice. Oh, thank you. Hi, Toyama. Thank you very much for joining in and watching my live stream. Thank you. It's lovely. Lovely to have you. I love Japan. Google rewrite history. Get a plant. I had a plant. It grew so much, so I had to plant it outside. It became a tree now. Alexon, beautiful shirt. Oh, thank you, Alexon. I'll be right back. I'm gonna post something real quick. No problem, Blink. Take your time. Nice of you to joining in, to be honest. Israel, what advice do you have for extramarital affair? Like, what advice do I give for cheaters or not to cheat? Like, what do you mean, like extramarital affairs? I don't recommend extramarital affairs. I don't normally. Because when you try to ride into two boats at once, chances are you will fall at some point, and that fall will cost you so much. Yeah, especially you wouldn't be able to swim. So don't try it. Don't have extramarital affair, guys. No matter how much you are good in lying, you will get caught eventually. And if not get caught, people can, even if people don't know the truth, they can read the vibe. They can read the vibe. And the vibe is obviously different when you are cheating, when somebody is cheating. So you would know when somebody started behaving a little bit wrong. If your partner is fighting with you and you don't know why their mood is bad, and did you say something, like, when a lot of people get scared of talking to their partner because they think, hmm, if I say something, like, my partner will start having fight with me and stuff for no reason. Sometimes chances are it's either insecurity, either cheating, because they might be hiding something. Uh, Jesse Gray. Well, I'm transgender myself and I'm in Australia anyway. Hey, I am extremely understanding of everyone's gender anyway. That's perfect, Jesse. And by the way, Australia is lovely. I like it. Um, yeah, trans people have to be open minded. I think that's the way to go because we can earn a lot of respect and command if we are open minded enough. I think trans community can I can literally see trans community going so much further if they just start becoming, because we want to be treated like a normal person in society, right? We want to have so many uh we want to achieve so much just like any other person in society, and we want to be accepted by everyone without having any judgment towards us. And for that we have to really we have to it's difficult, but we have to come out of the victim mentality. Not all of, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about like some people. And because when some people get so sensitive, oh, he called me he, or she called me he, or they misgendered me, or they mispronounced me, or you know we will come across those type of people in all walks of life, to be honest. But if we rise above it, if we don't let it harm us or harm our mentality, and we still stick to our positivity without being bitter by it, because there will be too many people who will be too much understanding towards us, but we need to put our best face forward. And I heard this line from a very, very lovely actress, which I really find like she was my favorite actress. She is my favorite actress, Sushmita Sen. And she once said this line. I don't know if she quoted it from somewhere or not, but she said, History will not remember the question, but they will remember your answer." So I think I really appreciate that. Like if you really want to answer somebody, like no matter how people will ask you question, they will try to manipulate you, try to be rude to you and stuff, or try to ask you something that can actually make you hyper and end up saying something bad. But if you like compose yourself, and if you reply in a manner that is witty and lovely at the same time, then yeah, it will touch people, and it will be the good response to that person who's asking that question as well. And I really appreciate that. Israel Ramirez, you're in. Oh, okay. So which part of USA, by the way, Israel Ramirez? Um, I like it. I always want to visit USA. Hmm. For some reason, there are less people today on the live stream. Maybe everybody's sleeping. Um, Todd. Hi, Todd. Cola got them go. Gangsta Lou. Gangsta Lou. They're not coconut, okay? Jesse Gray. Yeah, misgendering. Well, I get it most of the time anyway. But I just. Yeah, that's good, Jesse. Lovely. Mm-hmm. Fortnite Goddess. Hi, Fortnite Goddess. Okay. Whip out the God, guys. So, for extramarital affairs, I'm again gonna say don't do extramarital affairs. But if somebody is doing extramarital affairs, and if it is happen to be your partner, if you're worried about it, then deal with it. Try to figure out honesty with your partner. Like, honestly, I think different people treat extramarital affairs differently. I personally go for truth. I personally like go for like if I have a doubt on my partner, if I don't have any proof, if I think it's just my stupidity, then I'm not gonna open my mouth. But and then I will look for clues, but I'm not gonna change my behavior towards my partner, because what if I'm wrong? So I don't wanna like try to be rude to them, like passive aggressive type. I'm not gonna do that. Um, but once I'm sure that that is happening, that's it. I will confront my partner, give them the proof that this is what's happening, and I'll leave. But my last ex, I obviously did not know that he was cheating on me, like until I figured out that he was. I don't know. I'm still not sure if he cheated on me or not, but he was definitely on a dating site. He was sending his, you know, private pictures to people. So again, of course, I assume he was cheating, because if he wasn't cheating, why would he have to have his private picture there? Like private part picture there on a dating site, on a hookup site, basically. So he was, and that was enough for me. Like, I respect that. If somebody is bored of you or something, they just have to come clean with it and just say, look, I don't think it's gonna work out, or I'm doing this. You can either go in open relationship with that person, or either you just leave that person. That's all. You got to do two things. You still have to be honest with your partner. Most of the time, when you have non-existent sex life, you should know that's gonna happen. to a lot of relationships, specifically if one person in a relationship has a different type of sex drive than the other person. So that happens. Hi Ace Hood, how are you doing? Guys, you're not blocked. You have 40 seconds uh, time. So when you comment something, try to do a long comment, because then you have to wait for 40 seconds to do another comment. This is only to stop the spammers to from spamming. Otherwise, nobody's blocked here. Can you explain why trans and prostitutions are connected? Mainly it's because of job. Mainly it's because of the societal pressure. Because a lot of people and a lot of people who are either trans, and not in everywhere, but some in some places, like in some countries where they do not have as many rights, they do not get as much education. When they go to schools, they get harassed and bullied. When they go to college, they get harassed and bullied. Or when even going out, sometimes it's bully and harassment for them a lot of times. So that's why a lot of people choose not to complete their studies and stuff. And even if they complete, they're so much worried about like what's going to happen, like when they go to work, will they still have the same issues? Like job market is already tough, guys. And if you as a person, you all have to, work towards your own happiness, your own, you have to feed yourself basically. And of course, like prostitution to some people can provide an easy, it's not easy money because it's very risky, but some people find it easy. For me, I would never find it easy. This is going to be the hardest thing in my life. You know, I'm still not sure if I can do OnlyFans. So many people are telling me to do OnlyFans. I'm still not sure if I should do OnlyFans. So you can tell me, you can say like, no, it's not easy. Like, depends what are your priorities, what type of person you are. And a lot of people who are trans, they are already like going through so much. They don't want to like go through people so much on daily basis. To a look, a lot of people who are from good families, who have good education, they wouldn't go for prostitution, do they? If you are from good family, if you are having already, like if you don't have any clash from your parents and stuff, they didn't kick you out at very early age where you have to afford yourself and stuff, and you have to pay rent when at the age when you should be, you know afford, like studying rather than working or something. Then yeah, you can imagine, put yourself in their shoe, and you can imagine that. Like we can say a lot about why women do prostitutions. And then why, okay, one more thing I don't understand, like why people ask this question to women and trans. Oh, why do you do OnlyFans, why do you do prostitution and stuff? What about men? Why do men go to prostitutes? you know why do a lot of men, because most of the customers are men, whether they are trans women, whether they are women, uh, the customers are always mostly men. Why there are so many men who are customers? You can also have a girlfriend, and at nowadays things are so open that guys are having girlfriends in their school life. So why they're still going to prostitution? And you know the best answer. Most of the guys who go for prostitutes are the ones who are either not comfortable with women, who have something wrong up here or up here, one or the other, or both maybe, or they have some sort of like something wrong. They might be in drugs. They might be um, maniac. They might be like addicted to certain things. They so many things. Most of the customers are actually too old, who can't get date, to be honest. So people have their own reasons why they go to prostitutes. Similarly, for prostitutions, the people who do it is because they don't see any other way which is easier for them compared to this. If somebody is a software engineer who has done a software engineering course, or a doctorate, or somebody who have learned the medicine and stuff, they wouldn't do it, would they? So similarly, like the people who are back in society because of several different reasons. You don't know. Everybody has different reasons. Not every trans person go through the same thing. So, but chances are, mostly, either their parents are not accepting, either the society is tough, or whether they're from countries where they're already getting too much bullies in society and school and stuff. So that's several factors that can actually push them into prostitution, especially when they have looks, so they prioritize it. And I don't think there is anything wrong with that. Crazy Bear, hi, lovely to see you. Mr. Marcus, ever had a man unwillingly attracted to you? Yeah, plenty of times. Plenty of times, but then willingly or unwillingly, I always rejected those type of men. There were so many guys at my workplace as well who comes to my workplace, and I'm just dealing with them as the guests and as as a client, and they sometimes are attracted and they don't know about me, so I had to politely reject it without even telling them that I'm trans. I have to reject it because I think that's strictly professional. I don't have to do anything with that. Nah, I don't want to give a chance like that. No. No matter how good they are, I just don't want, I don't have that much energy to even figure out if they are good for me or not. I just straight away, no. Mm, thank you, Ramen. And yeah, Jessica Ray, well, that's true anyway, and you are extremely right with what you have said, 100%. Thank you, Jesse. Israel Ramirez, I almost married a trans lady. She kept her true identity trans from me. We were both drunk when she told me she was trans. I left our relationship. Why did she wait until we were drunk? Rami Reyes. I think I don't support that. I never advocate for that for trans people. I know some people would do it for several reasons because they don't know how to come out to people. They don't they Some of the people, trans women, they keep their identity away from people so that the other people would at least give them a chance to get to know them as a human, because a lot of times what happened, like, people may be interested in you, but as soon as they hear trans, they probably don't want to even hear anything about you. They don't want to even give a chance to get to know you. So that's a lot of people fear from that. And if you're a confident person, then you wouldn't have to fear about it, like, because there are plenty of other people who would be very openly fine with that. But then there are people who will be worried about it, and I don't support that type of thing, but I can somehow know why they do it. um, but if you are angry with her about not telling you, I think you're absolutely right about that, because she should have told you earlier on. Yeah. And if you're saying, you know why she did it, so I told you the reasons why. I don't know, Noah. Today is very less people, to be honest. Anyway, Kim Gidensky. Being trans is hard and scary in this world of bigoted fool. Yeah, it is hard and tough. But it's hard and tough either way in this world, to be honest. Maybe in Western countries, like, again, like, there are so many ways where you can make your life very easy. First of all, if you really want an easy life as a trans person, I would say stay away from social media. The more you're on social media, the more difficult the life will be. I've realized, until I wasn't on YouTube, when I was living a stealth life at my workplace, nobody cares, to be honest. Even if somebody like figure out eventually that, oh yeah, you are trans, they didn't give a damn. There was nothing wrong with that. I had a smooth, easy life. But then I wanted a drama in my life. I wanted entertainment in my life because I felt like, look, I know nobody cares and stuff like that, but I need to be able to open about myself to someone at least. So I decided maybe I should just, go on YouTube and stuff, and I'll just talk either about myself, either about other trans people, so that because this is the truth about myself. I can't hide this truth. I can't hide away from this truth. So I decided to just have a channel where I can actually talk about my problems, my issues, my exes and stuff. And that really helped me. But at the same time, I started getting a lot of different kind of um, trolls and hatred that I never found in real life. Because in real life, I'm not going about telling people that I'm trans. I'm not wearing rainbow clothes or anything, so they don't know. And I don't get that much problem in real life. It's only like social media. And a lot of times, social media people do it because they want attention. Most of the people are attention seeker. They don't, probably they're not the bad people. Most of the trolls are not real bad people. Most of the trolls are just, they want attention. Maybe they don't have as glamorous life as you are. And trust me, a lot of people who are cisgender people, including male and female, their life most of the time, and not everybody, but most of the people, their life is very boring. Listen, guys, being trans gives you, okay, everybody has to work towards a purpose in their life, okay? We all have to find aim and goals and purpose in our life. But at the same time, if you are trans, you already have that. You already you are working towards something. How to have a, transition, uh, work on yourself, maybe have a surgery if you want to, or live yourself the way you want to, visit places and stuff, or do YouTubing. I don't have to have a talent to be on YouTube basically as a trans person. I can just be myself, talk about my experiences, and I can still be on YouTube, right? But a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people who are like straight biological people who have just married, have kids now, and they're just doing 9 to 5 job. What's the entertainment in their life? A lot of people don't have that. So I can imagine like why some people uh, think that our life is too glamorous, and we are um we are some special, or we treat ourselves so special and stuff like that. We have so many rights. A lot of people think like that, to be honest, and that's why some of them do get jealous and insecure sometimes, and not jealous, but sometimes they also get like, maybe they think it's unfair. Some of the people, my ex was like that. uh, since he started dating me, he was straight by the way, but since he started dating me, he wanted to call himself bisexual, even though I was telling him he's not bisexual because he's not into men. And he wasn't into any men, but he was into me. But he still insists upon calling himself bisexual, but because that gives him, now I know that give him some sort of like label to belong to something, belong to a certain community and stuff. A lot of people become atheists and they join, they're so actively atheist. Or a lot of people um, believe leave their religion and go into any other religion, and then they start advocating for that. Oh, I'm a revert, I'm a convert, and I'm this, I'm that, and oh, I found this about that gives them a niche to talk about. And most of these people who do that they don't have like a job that they normally enjoy, so this is like an entertainment for a lot of people. Now you know why a lot of people do that, trolling. That's why I don't take trolls very seriously. Like, a lot of trolls comes to me and I'm like, yeah, what can I do? Sorry guys, I was eating chewing gum and it's stuck here. Where's where? It's disgusting, I know. Anyway, done. Better. Um, let's do this. See other comments as well now. You're welcome, Ramirez. Letitia, new over here. Been, you have beautiful videos. New follow. Oh, thank you, Letitia. Please do subscribe, guys, if you are new to my channel. That will be a bigger help for me. Thank you very much. And for liking the video. Thank you. I love you guys. Okay, let's see. Noah, Do any girl become jealous of your beauty? I don't think so. No, no, I don't think so. Girls actually are very open-minded. You know what, one thing, like I've worked in so many fields where it was only girls field because I was a part of hospitality industry, and most of the hospitality in most hospitality industry there are plenty of women. It's a women oriented industry basically. I also worked in a warehouse which was specifically for women section, and I was the only like trans person who was working there, and there was no male there. There was all women, and yeah, I felt really good in that sense. They treated me like most of them didn't know about me being trans, but even if somebody had a clue, they never mentioned it on my face, and they were really like nice to me. They were really nice to me. They complimented me a lot. you know, I once got really like I had to really bite my teeth that time because I was lifting a heavy object in the warehouse at some point, and this girl, few of them, they came to me and they said, "Oh no, 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 let let the men from other section do it. Don't do it." I said, "Why? I can lift it." They were like, "No, no, it's gonna affect the baby." I said, "I'm not pregnant." They said, "But you will be pregnant, and it's gonna spoil your body." And I felt like, seriously. So that was something I was like, okay, okay, I'm not gonna lift it. So sometimes I forget that I have to be a little bit more of a ladylike, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. But no, girls are really good. I like girls. They are okay. I'm not sexually into girls, guys. I'm not. But friendship wise, girls are perfect. Sisterhood is wonderful with girls. Yeah. To Jessie, well, maybe she was a bit unsure of how the relationship or reaction might of work out, but I'm just guessing really. Yeah, yeah, that could be. So that's for Ramirez. Yeah, plenty of reasons. You don't know what's going on in people's mind, and a lot of time people make decisions whatever suits them mentally, like according to how they think. So every individual is different. Noah, did any girl fight with you? Did any girl fight with me? No, not really. I never had a no. I never had a fight with a girl. Oh yeah, well, few months ago actually online, uh I was on TikTok that time, and there was this a turf channel. So she was turf and she was live, and there were 200 other turfs watching her live stream at that time, and she was like roasting a trans woman who was there was only one trans woman. There were six other turfs there on the same live streams, like multi live stream it was, and they were all roasting her. And that trans woman was trying to explain like, oh no, trans women are this, trans women are that, and those girl, those other turfs, they were like trying to literally like making her cry basically. So I couldn't just I normally don't try to argue with people, but I couldn't handle that, and I had to go online that time. And so that's when I actually had a like verbal argument and fight. And I normally don't, make people feel bad about themselves, but that time I had to, because what happened was, I went online and I said, "Look guys, I first of all, like they asked me like who am I and stuff, so obviously, so I said, look, I am a trans woman, and told them about myself. I also said like they asked me like, so what was your question? And I said the question is like, do you think the people who call trans women sh- who use the right pronoun for trans women, who call them she and her for trans women, do you think it's okay for them to do it?" And they were like, "No, it's not, and we have to correct the language. It's the language. It's this and that." And they were talking a lot about that, and I was like, "Yeah, but a lot of time people are aware. Like for example, my boyfriend still prefers to call me she, and he knows about me. Some of my friends, they know about it. Some of my colleagues know about it. They still prefer to call me she, and I never asked them to call me she. They always use the pronoun she for me because of how I'm presenting myself, basically. And so they said, no, no, no. If I see somebody trying to call you a she in front of me, I will go to them. I will be like challenging them, like, why are you calling this dude a she? Because it's a biological male. And I was like, listen, girl, you can argue about language. You can say, oh yeah, it's a language, you have to correct the language, blah blah blah. But at the same time, most of the people who are calling me she, I'm not hiding the fact from them that I'm a trans person. So even if they prefer to call me she, that is to be easy in society and socially, because when you use a pronoun for people socially, you use the pronoun on basis of how they present themselves. It doesn't change the fact that, oh well, you have to have ovaries or you have to have a vagina to be called she. Because if you go by that, then we have to ask every woman basically, oh, do you have a vagina? Do you have an ovary? Oh, did you lose your ovaries in an accident? Oh, okay, so you're not she anymore. Oh, because you were born a woman, that's why you're she. Well, what about those people who were born with a vagina and ovaries, but now later on they find out they are intersex and there are some conditions where they are becoming more and more manly, basically. What would you call that? So there was no logic to them. But then I said, look, I don't hide from the fact that, so this is what I told them. I said, I don't hide it from the fact that, um, I am trans, and I never say that I'm a biological woman. I never argue with people about that. If somebody, I don't give that much value to people, whatever they call me. If somebody's a bad or nasty person who's gonna call me anything like that, that's fine. You have your right to call me whatever. But I would obviously not gonna like it. I'm not gonna expect my friends to do that for me, because if you're friends, the basic rule about friendship is to give respect to each other, right? And the bigger respect is if they just call me how I look like at that time. Because imagine, like, if I'm going out with my friends, all of a sudden, like, in front of other people, they're calling me he. Even the people who's not going to be noticing me, they will be noticing at the same time when they use the word he for me, because obviously that's going to bring attention towards me. So it's not obviously going to be comfortable for me. So what's comfortable, not just for me but for the whole everybody, because it's like it's asking for attention basically, because obviously I'm not looking like a he. So if they're going to call me he in front of so many people, obviously it's going to bring attention to me. So if they go by she, that's more convenient for everyone. There is no attention to anyone, unnecessary attention and stuff. And you can just going out with your friends for a drink or something and you just come back, that's it, right? But no. Oh, and then their argument was, what if you get arrested and the police say, oh, it's a she, so they will register it as a woman crime rather than a man crime. And I was like, listen, even if people get arrested, if I do something wrong, for example, and if I ever get arrested for doing something wrong, I will still be like, they might call me she or whatever, but at the same time, they will register it as a trans woman. So many times people have been arrested and they were still registered. Like, how many, you can still Google search it, like how many trans women in prison, and you will figure out how many trans women in prison. You will not figure out, oh, how many women in prison. You will figure out how many trans women in prison. So of course they register it that way. Whatever pronoun they still use for you, you still have that record. So I don't, they didn't actually have any logic. And then because she couldn't defend that, that she was trying to like be personal, like she was like, oh, she was using very bad language towards me, like, oh, you got a sandbag vijay, you know, and you have sandbag vijay, you can never be, you wish you were us, and you wish you were this, and you wish you were that. I was like, I don't wish a shit. Trust me, I don't care about looking like you. And then because he was being personal to me, I had to personally reply to her at her level. So I said, look, I might have been born a male, but you're not half as good looking as I am as a woman. And I said that, and I said, if you hate men that much, that's what I said to her, if you hate men that much, why do you look like one? That's what I said. Because she was turf, and she was very butch looking turf. And sorry, that's the fact. If she's saying, oh, because she was saying that she only believes in truth and everything like that. So I was like, okay, if you believe in truth, and if you're just calling me he, and she was constantly calling me he and stuff, it's not just he, but she was calling me a boy, man, whatever, like, you know, dick and all that. And she didn't even know that I had operation or not. She just assumed that I might have a, you know, Vijay and a sandbag Vijay. And I said, look, I don't have it. I don't have to even. She didn't even ask me what's going on. She just assumed that I have a silicones hair. She didn't even know that it was real or not. She said, oh, silicone surgery, and she thought I had a surgery and stuff. So she just assumed, and she was trying to like make me feel down because of that. And I was like, but I know my reality, so why would I feel down? So I said, look, why if you hate men that much, okay, and if you think trans women are men, and if you're calling us men, and if you hate men that much, why do you look like one? Simple as that. And she's like, oh, did you just call me that? Oh my God. Oh, you call me a man. You call me a man. And oh my God, you're just personally insulting me and blah blah. I was like, look, from like an hour and so, you were insulting me. But the fact is fact. If you're trying to be honest about how I look and who I am, then I should be honest to you as well. So you should be able to hear it. So you do look like a man, unfortunately, and whether you are a biological woman or not, but you do look like a man, and that's the fact. And she got really offended on that. I was like, okay, well, girl, what can I do? So, but like eventually, yeah, that was the thing going on. It was fun. It was fun. And then later on, she kicked me out because she couldn't tolerate any more argument. No. Anyway, and yeah, obviously, but it wasn't her talking only. There were some of her colleagues, TERFs, who were constantly interrupting. They were muting my mic. And the good thing about TikTok is like when somebody mutes your mic, you can unmute your mic all the time. So I was constantly like she was muting my mic, and I was constantly unmuting my mic. Like she was giving too many lectures at the same time and asking so many questions, but she was not ready to hear the answer. She was just asking questions and questions and questions, and half of those questions were not related anyway because she was just generally asking, like, for example, if you are a woman or if you're a man, and if somebody's saying, oh, men do this, men do that, oh, women do this, women do that, and women do prostitution, women do that, men do this, men do that. You're not that man. So why are they asking you the same question, like why men do this or why women do this? I'm not trying to be activist, so why would she? Can't she just? That's what my problem is with people. Like, can't people just take people as individual and have a normal conversation? Because when you start insulting people, the conversation doesn't go anywhere. So, because obviously I had to retaliate in the same manner that she understands. And that's how I put her in her place by calling her. And she was really attached with her looks, basically, unfortunately. And the next live stream, I went back on TikTok without even wanting to go back to her stream. But next day or so, I saw her with so much makeup on and stuff. So she was trying to look less like a man. That was funny, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, that was my only like online fight with a woman, basically. Thank you, Letitia. Mr. Marcus, ever foresee a day when you have no longer want to be trans? I can't imagine. I don't want to. I really don't want to. I can't imagine detransitioning, to be honest. That's my biggest fear. Yeah, you can tell that. Okay, apart from obviously my family, because obviously I can give up my transition for my family. Guys, I love my family. There's nothing more important to me than my family. Okay. If somebody say choose between your family or transition, I would choose my family because they are more. Of course, I'm not gonna be happy if I wouldn't choose the transition, but you talking about like choosing the life of my family and you choosing about happiness, I would obviously choose my family. So of course, in that sense, I will always choose my family. But I'm talking about like when I have a choice whether I have to do transition or not, I would obviously choose transition because that keeps me happy, that makes me happy, that makes me function in society in a normal way, how I am, and that gives me joy, that gives me pleasure. And I know I'm not trying to harm people. I'm not trying to, asking for extra rights and stuff. So I'm okay with that. But I can't imagine that. Mr. Marcus, and like seriously, if you were locked up, which prison would you go to? Um, I if I'm locked up, for example, um, I don't want to go to female prison either. I don't want to go to obviously male prison and get, I prefer like a prison which is like guarded, like which is not which is like a bit safer for like LGBTQ people prison basically. And there are several prison system where they have vulnerable group individuals in those prisons, and it's in most places. So I think I'll be fine with that, because nowadays the reason why I'm not gonna go to the reason why I prefer not to go to female prison nowadays, because society is changing a lot lately. And if I go to female prison, and if like, let's say they are, I'm not that strong, guys. I'm only 5'7". My height is 5'7". It's good height, but it's not that tall. There are plenty of taller women on daily basis. There are plenty of stronger women on daily basis. Can you imagine, like, if I go to prison and there's some turf there, and they can do any, like, they will definitely have something against me compared to men. Men is other thing. Like, men, I can still tolerate them, but women, some, I'm not talking about normal women. I'm talking about like the ones in prison, basically. Probably not. So it's for my own safety, guys. So I just don't want to share prison with anyone. I mean, I just want to read books in prison. I want to study in prison. I would join a course or something, and yeah, I'll live a happy life. How about that? That's fine. And by the way, there's um there's one guy who actually changed my opinion about prison, basically. So I'm gonna interview him in my upcoming live streams. So guys, please do what keep in touch and keep subscribed, because when I'll do his interview, he because he can share a lot about prison, because he has been in prison, and that will be fun thing, because he came across some trans women in prison, so that will be a really good interview to find out. That comes from like an experience, what he actually has seen and stuff, and that's a genuine person. So that will be really helpful for some of you. Harry Edward, thank you, Harry. Nevin Karthik. Hi, Navin Karthik. Naveen Karthik. Austin. Oh, hi, Austin. Where have you been? Good to see you. Thank you, Kim. Vicky Cheeks. Hi. Lovely to see you again. Looking beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Naveen. Naveen or Nevin? Thank you, Letitia. Everyone hit the like. Oh, thank you. LT Vicky Cheeks. Thank you very much. Mirak. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get some sleep and been up all night. Okay, you have been up all night, right? Wait a minute, guys. Where was I reading? I missed so many. It's just. Oh, God, I'm mixed up. So sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up with comments before you guys are gonna say that, I missed your comments and stuff. So I'm trying to read your comments. Look after yourself, Jesse. Take care. Have a good night. Sunbug JJ. I don't know what was he saying. Anyway. Rashid, happy woman. God loves you. Oh, thank you, Rashid. Deepika, hi. Wonderful to see you. Thank you. In prison, they bathe at the same time with no individual bathrooms. I don't mind. Like, if somebody's gonna be seeing me bathing in prison, as long as I'm safe, I'll be fine. I grew up. The thing is, like, I grew up with men most of the time with men, and uh, a lot of gay guys and stuff. Throughout my life, I had more gay friends and stuff. Obviously, in my family, I have a lot of cousins, female cousins. So obviously, I also grew up with females. but I always felt like a woman, but I can never see myself like changing in front of women, or I don't want them to either I don't want to see them changing in front of me, and I don't want them to see me changing and stuff, because I don't know, there's something different with my biology. Obviously, front is fine. Like I can still never get I cannot get change in front of women. I feel uncomfortable changing in front of women. Obviously, I don't want to change in front of men either, but at the same time, I don't want to change in front of women. So I get uncomfortable either way, whether it's men or women. So what's the point? For me, it's equally disturbing to change in front of either way, with male or female. But at least I can tolerate seeing men naked. I can't tolerate seeing women naked for some reason. So that's why I said more chances are I'll probably better off in male prison stuff, which I don't want to though. But just saying. Hi Jessica, how are you? Lovely to see you. Thank you. Thank you, Jess. Leaky Cheeks, your name is Rusty. Your name is Rusty. Really? Is Rusty a name? You know what Rusty is, right? Leaky Cheeks. So is it actually Rusty? Is that a nickname or is it actually a name, Rusty? I never thought Rusty would be a name because you mean the same Rusty, right? When you get a rust in a metal rod or something. Uh, you'll definitely enjoy seeing men naked. I will. I will enjoy seeing men naked. Alberto, behave yourself, okay? If you're hungry, go to your fridge, get some milk. Don't show me here. Dawson, what's up with the with that outfit? Why? It's a good outfit, isn't it? Guys, what do you think? By the way, it's two outfits. I combined it together. Look at this. So it's two outfits. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Rusty. Um. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. How's life going, by the way, guys? How's life going? I know it's a bit late for some of you to be live at this time. I mean, to join my live at this time. The reason why I normally come at this time because everybody's sleeping at this time. There's less noise at my home. By the way, you know, that's why I normally don't wear the small earrings. It's called tops in some places. So anyway, I like small earrings rather than dangly ones. But the reason why I don't wear as often small ones because when I'm online like this, you can't see it much often. It's not as visible. It looks like my ears are naked, basically. So I like it like when it's dangly, when I'm especially online. But in real life, I rather prefer these ones because it's comfortable. It's more modest, I guess. For this evening, okay, okay, that's good. Actually, most men like back when will you go for silicone? You mean most men would like bigger? Really? To be honest, like I had my ex and few hookups as well, like few exes and few hookups. And I did ask this question from some men, like, what size do they prefer? And I think a lot of men replied by saying that it's ample size so they can grab it and stuff. Obviously, I had way bigger breast at one point when I was a bit chubby. I was a bit chubby 9 months ago. So, which I lost weight. So, obviously, I lost weight from here as well. But they're still okay. Look, these are my hands, guys. Okay, so if I'm holding it, I still cannot like hold them completely. They're still like So they start from here, okay? So look, if I'm holding it from here, then I still have like half of this area left. And if I'm holding it here, then sorry, here, you can see like how much is away from my hands. So it's either my breast is bigger compared to my hands, or either my hands is bigger, smaller compared to my breast. Either way. So I never have a problem like when people called it, and people never called it small. The thing is, what I heard from men mostly is that it's how they react. It's what shape they have. It's the other things that makes it sexier. I think the size, a lot of women and trans women, trust me, they worry so much about size of the breast. And when they worried about size of the breast, they half of the time they go for silicone and they ruin it because it's too big, but at the same time it's too heavy. It's less jiggly. It's not just that. It's like, for example, the other thing is as well. Like, what about the areola? What about the nipple area and stuff? The more natural you have, the better it is. It looks better. It looks sexier if you have the natural one. If it's naturally like that, I would say if a woman has a little bit money, if they want to spend a little bit money on their breast, rather than increasing the size, do something about this area. You know, because that can actually be very attractive. And like my breast started growing uh, from 1 year and a half mark of my transition when I started my transition. From that time till like 4 years, it took me 4 years to get to C cup size, and even after that it was keep growing and growing. Um, but when my actual areola started growing and when my nipple started developing more, it was getting bigger, it was getting more, fatter and point erected, like kind of out and stuff. Um, and also areolas, which might not. The reason why I wear bigger size bra because if I wear the half smaller size bra, I have my areolas will come out of that. It covers half of my breast size, so it's very difficult. But a lot of men find it sexy, to be honest, and it's not just men. I also find it sexy as well. I think that's great because not everybody has that, and that's what the difference I found when I was not on hormones and when I'm on hormones. Because since I started taking hormones and after once I spent several years on hormones, since they started becoming bigger, they give me it actually makes me feel like it's a woman breast basically rather than just the size itself. Because when it was just the size that was increasing, I still was think it was something that was telling me no, it still doesn't look right. So when they started growing up, it was more falling into place. It was more, becoming better. So yeah, guys, thank you. Hi, Jean Jenny. Hello, Gola. I hope life is treating you well. More than handful is wasted, as saying goes. You look very feminine in a very respectful way. I genuinely thought you were a woman from birth when I saw you. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet to me. I like it. Thank you. Um, how's life, by the way? God, some people just uh Charles bombastic. Okay, Charles Charles Henry. Hi, Chandana. Good morning. I've seen your message now. Thank you. Good morning to you too. I'm not talking about the front. I'm talking. I'm asking for the back part. You mean bottom back? Bottom back. I would say I had bigger butts before starting transition. Yeah, because I had muscles there. My butts were much bigger compared to now before starting transition. Now my butt has gone softer, I would say, and because they become softer, not as much. muscles and not as much hard, because before it was like if I would have squeezed them, my butts I'm talking about, they would go really hard before transition. Yeah, like I can literally block someone from doing anything to me. I can eat people by that before starting transition. But after starting transition, they have gone really like soft. They were more welcoming. They're more accommodating. Do you know what I mean? Like when I'm in private room with my private partner or whatever, it's much accommodating, much easier. It's more jiggly. But before transition, it was more harder. It was more of muscle. And because after transition, you lose muscle and you gain weight, fat, basically. So what happened was when I had muscles, they were looking more bigger. They were sticking out and poking out more. After transition, because it turned into fat, and when it turns into fat, and if you don't exercise much, and I neglected myself for so long, wasn't exercising, so they have gone down a bit. They're still okay. Like I'm not a flat. I don't have a flat butt. I still have, good size butt, I guess, but they're not BBW. They're not, and I'm fine with that, to be honest. I think, but I've gained my hips. I had, I still had hips as a man, but not as much. Now I have a bit more hips than that, to be honest. Like if you ask me to measure my hip and my shoulder, so you see right now, like my hip would cover this part. Okay, so this is my hip. You can see the size. If I put my hand like this, you can see like it's almost like my shoulder length, shoulder wide, basically. So it's a good proportion, and this area is slimmer than my shoulders and my hip. So that's the difference. So it's become more hourglass, basically. Even though I'm skinny right now, I'm skinnier, but still a bit hourglass. So yeah, that was a bit different. Before I have been a slim person before transition, but my upper body was a bit more of a V shape before, okay, and I still had a little bit hips, but not as big as they are now. So they were never matching my shoulders, but now they match my shoulders, my hips. Yeah, but of course I lost some weight on my butts. That's why I think about maybe I should join gym, because if I join gym, and I know if I would join gym, if I would do some butt exercises, butt shaping exercises, and thigh exercises, they will go much more better shaped. They might get muscle, so they will not be as jiggly as they are right now, you know, but they will look good in shape, to be honest. So I have to choose whether I choose a shape, or whether I choose a jiggliness, jiggliness of my butts and my thighs, whatever people prefer, whatever I prefer. Yeah. Hey, Gurberry, I don't care what size they are, they're perfect size. Oh, thank you, Austin. You're always so nice to me. Thank you. And thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Rusty. It will get me some time to get used to the Rusty, but trust me, I'll. And guys, if I forget anybody's name, please remind me, okay? Oh, thank you, Jean Genet. You like wide hips, Noah? Okay, that's good. I have wider hips, but my hips are not too wide. And personally, I don't like too wide. I like lean body on myself. So my hips are wider compared to my waist. They are much wider, but at the same time, I'm not a very wide person. I have a slender body, basically. Yeah, I do have a slender body. I am 5'7" and I almost weigh like 60 kgs. That's my weight, 60 kg, including the weight of this and everything, yeah. Butts and hips and all that. Um, yeah. So that's me, basically. And I want to get to like 58. I want to keep my weight between 58 and 60 kg. 58 and 60 kg. I think that would be the ideal weight for me. Yeah, 58 and 60 kg. Yeah. So I still have to lose like 2 3 kgs. Um you maintain your body and figure cute slim body who is control I think you are control food and so I don't control my food as much and I don't exercise as much. But what I do is I go for a walk. Like today I went for a walk. I do walk about 3 times a week, at least 3 times a week, or 4 times a week maximum. But 3 times a week is must. Um, the reason why I choose to, and when I walk at least for an hour. So that's like 6,000 calories each with each walk. So it's not much to be honest. But the reason why I do this right now because I don't have like a outgoing job basically, so I have no activity. That's why. And I don't watch what I eat. Yes, of course, I eat everything. By the way, you guys know I'm South Asian, so I eat my curries, I eat my biryani, I eat my rice and everything. I eat chapatis and naan bread and curries and kebabs and tikkas and everything. Mouth-watering. I eat pizzas, I eat burgers, I eat noodles, I eat Thai food. I love Thai food. Yeah, I love Italian as well. Love cheese. I love cheese. I love cheese. I can have a cheese board, and that's my favorite. I don't need a dessert if I'm having a cheese board. Yeah. Oh, cheese. So yeah, I eat everything, guys. But when you eat that much, you are putting too much on your metabolism to work with. Even though no matter how good your metabolism is, the more you age, the more your metabolism slows down. Okay, so when I was a little bit younger, like until I did not cross my 30 years, 30th birthday, I could have digested everything very easily. But I've noticed, and without exercise, okay, but after my 38th birthday, like after 30 years of my life, my metabolism sometimes need extra push, extra help to digest all that, whatever I eat. So what I did was, and what I did is, if it might help you, control your portion size. I had a habit of eating like a beast. Yeah, I could have eat. I have been in relationship twice. I lived with my exes, and my exes were obviously bigger, muscular men than me, but at the same time, I think they ate less than me. I always used to eat more than them, and I used to take pride in eating more than them. You know, like I was eating more chocolates than them. I was eating more pizzas than them. I was eating like it was like a competition for me. Oh yeah, I can eat all that, and I can still maintain myself. That type of thing, and I took real proud in that. But then I started realizing it's my body because of my metabolism. I cannot become obese, but I can definitely become like chubby. So the weight can go on my cheeks, it can go like all over my body, not just my tummy, not just my hips and stuff. It goes all over me. So it distributes easily, and that's why my type of person is difficult to figure out how fat I am. Because when I was on 85 kgs, okay, I was on 85, 86 kgs 9 months ago, and if you see my videos, I look fat, but I don't look that fat. I look chubby, I don't look that chubby. But most of it was a visceral fat. It was like going on my heart. I was getting chest pains. I was getting a lot of problems, health related problems because of that. I felt weaker. I couldn't exercise much. I was feeling breathless when I was, going for a walk or something. So it was very unhealthy. And that's what made motivated me to control what I eat. So I still eat whatever I eat. I can't completely go off on, what I eat, what I grew up eating. But what I realized, I had to find a balance. I shouldn't be overeating. There's a difference between eating and overeating. I shouldn't be eating before bedtime. I shouldn't be eating at least 5 hours before bedtime. I shouldn't be like, I should have stopped. For me, before it was a problem that if I had more food in my plate, for some reason, if I'm too greedy, I would put too much on my plate, but then I wouldn't be able to, normally my appetite is done. But because I have food there, I used to think that, oh no, I have to finish it because my appetite is done, but this food is going to go to waste. So I have to finish it. What I have to learn is try to be moderate. Don't be selfish when you put food in your plate. But accidentally, by chance or whatever, if you put more food in your plate, once you are full, and we all know when we are full, um, we should stop it. No matter how delicious the food is, we should stop it. Even if it's left in your plate, stop it. It's very important to recognize that. And that's how you stop overeating. My body tells me usually when to stop. Naturally, I can still eat more than that, but I stop at that time. And I'll tell you my secret. When I eat, I normally know now that how much I need, so I put that much portion in my plate. But before, I'm talking about, when I used to put too much in my plate, at during half after eating half of my meal, a little bit more than half a plate, I used to had a burp, a very tiny burp, not too much, very tiny burp. That usually was the indication that I'm done. If I eat after that, that was extra. So that was real extra. I should have stopped then and there, which I did not listen to myself. My body was telling me that I wasn't listening to myself. And I was continuously eating after a burp, and that's what eventually contributing to my visceral fat, which was going to my heart, which was going to my parts of my body, which was really dangerous. For especially like my family has a history of diabetes, and my doctor, because of hormones, I get checked every year for my hormones levels and stuff. So he was saying that my insulin level were so high and stuff, and if I wouldn't stop my weight from getting any better, then he said, and that was like in 2021 or something. He said that if I don't stop eating too much, and if I don't control my weight, and if I don't start exercising or walk at least, then chances are within 5 years I can have either heart attack or either I can have a diabetes. My foot was getting bad at that time. It was so much. I wasn't just eating more, I was eating junk, complete junk, which wasn't right. So guys, do yourself favor. It's not just about fat or weight gain that you have to worry about when you overeat, when you eat too much. It's also about other sicknesses, illnesses, and diseases that you really have to worry about, and especially if you're on hormone, HRT treatment, or any other medication for that sense, because you don't want to go through it. You know, it's a blessing to be able to feel good. I stopped feeling good about myself at that time. It wasn't because I never cared about how people see me. I never cared about it. A lot of people do care about it. That's what stops them from taking extra step to look massive and stuff. But what actually told me to look after myself was my health, because I couldn't move my body the way I wanted to move. I was getting back pains, backaches and stuff. I was getting up, if I would end up sleeping little, like I used to sleep 8 hours. So if I was sleeping 8 hours, I used to get backaches and you know too many complications I was getting. I didn't like it. And since I started losing weight, and by the way, I was having chest pains as well, guys. Whether they were gastric pains or whether they were, I don't know, God forbid, what was that? Sometimes I used to think I was going to collapse if I was continuously getting those type of, pains. Because what happens was, like, when I was getting those type of pain, I really felt like I'm gonna faint and I'm gonna drop down. It was, yeah, indication for me, like, and I'm the stubborn kind of person. I never want to listen to people. So I had to learn it the hard way. So I'm blessed that finally I listened to myself. And you know what motivated me to listen to myself? You guys. Since I started joining social media, again, when I joined my YouTube channel, I was not on a weight loss journey or anything like that. So I was still like enjoying myself. A lot of guys were complimenting on how big my breast is. They like bigger women, they like voluptuous women, they like curves and stuff. I was actually getting more guys than I do now after losing weight, because trust me, a lot of guys are into curves. But at the same time, I wasn't happy about myself. I felt like, do I have to please other people or do I have to please myself? What do I have to choose? And then I had to decide I really have to take myself seriously. So I took myself seriously. Thank God. I listened to myself. Eventually I did. Hi Haya. So the topic was like we were way out of the topic. I was talking about weight loss and stuff. No offense, I see many who go post op and go too big around the breast, too much work. You are is subtle and you look very attractive naturally. Walking is perfect for keeping toned around the legs. Yes, I think post op, there's no difference. Like a lot of people say that if you go post op, you're gonna gain weight, you're gonna do this, that. If you look after yourself, even if you're post op, you're not gonna gain too much. If you know how to look after yourself, because being alone on hormones, you can go bigger. It's so easy with the hormones to go so big. Yeah. So if you look after yourself, that's fine. If you know the way to look after yourself, that's perfect. And I'm actually liking myself since I lost weight. I like myself. I like my face as well. It's not just the weight, it's the face as well. I look more awake basically. Less puffy face, not puffy face, puffy face. Yeah, I like it more since I lost weight. Hi Khan, I was 65 kg before HRT and staying this way for a year. I'm not into gym or exercise, but after HRT with 6 months, my weight is 72 kg, especially fat on my belly. I like to reduce. Any advice? Hi, just reduce your portion size and do exercise or walk. And don't try to see the results within 1 week and 1 month. It takes time. But if you continuously go for a walk, if you can't even go for a walk, then just if you have stairs in your house, just go up and down with the stairs. You will, and do it for an hour, not just like 5 minutes or something. Do it for an hour daily. If you start when you want to start losing weight, once you achieve your goal weight, then you can reduce the timing. Like when I wanted to lose weight, when I started this journey of losing weight, I was going for a walk every day for an hour, and very like fast walking. Okay. uh Eventually it was struggle, but then I got used to it and stuff. But I maintained the 1 hour time period, and now I only go for 3 times a week to just maintain how much weight I have lost. And I'm still losing, but now I don't have to worry about like losing it too fast. So that's fine. But that time I wanted to lose it, so I had to go too fast. Yeah. Once you achieve your goal weight, you can slow down a little bit. Okay. Don't go too much. A lot of people lose hope for losing weight because they think, oh, well, it's a lifelong maintenance. You have to do it. You have to continuously doing it. And if you leave it, then you're going to gain all that weight again. And that is true. If you leave the routine completely, you will gain all that weight again. But if you know which point you have reached and what you have achieved, after that, you can maintain it. So you can not be as hard on yourself as you were initially when you started losing weight, but after achieving the goal weight, you can figure out what keeps you healthy and what keeps you maintain your weight. So you may not have to do as strong exercise, as much of a walk. So from 7 days a week, I cut it off to 3 days a week. Now I exercise. Now I only walk for 3 days a week, and that's fine for me. I only watch out, obviously, if I'm eating too much or anything. And if I feel like that I eat pizza or burgers or fast food, too much fast food, like if I have so many calories, you have to have some knowledge about calories. The food you eat, you know, have a information about calories. Every spoonful of oil contains about roughly about 100 calories. Every spoon. Walking for an hour, good walking for an hour, make you lose about only 200 kgs. Sorry, 200 calories. So you can imagine one spoon of oil can contain 100 calories. And you're walking, so how many calories you have to lose just one spoon of oil? Half an hour walk. Can you imagine, like, you have to walk half an hour just to lose half spoon of calories? So it's better. Of course, exercise is good, but exercise alone is not going to help you. You have to control all the oily foods, all the fatty foods. Don't mix carbs and fat. At least try to do that way. But if you have to, like for example, burger, you have fat and you have carbs both. Yeah, for pizza as well, you have fat and you have carbs as well. So if you're combining it once in a while, you can combine it, but don't continue it every day, like once in 2 weeks or once in a week, maybe. And if you do it in the same day, then try to exercise a little bit on the same day so you can lose that weight as well. Yeah. If you are eating, uh, if you want to lose weight, basically, ideal weight is again weight loss depending on your biological weight at that point and your height as well, your BMI. So find out your BMI and what is the calorie intake that you should take every day according to your height and weight, okay, and your age as well. um, and on the basis of that you can decide how much weight, how many calories you should take to lose weight. So for example, I'm 5'7", I'm Asian, I mean, you know, Pakistani Indian, and so 5'7", Pakistani Indian, and my weight was 85, 86 kg. So that was obviously like in a fat category of my BMI. So, to my type of individual should be eating about 1800 to 2100 calories per day, according to, sorry, 1700 to 2100 calories per day, and that's just to like maintain what I had basically. And because I wanted to lose weight, so I had to cut off the weight by reducing the calorie intake. So rather than eating 1800 to 2100 calories per day to maintain the weight, I had to at least cut off 400 calories on top of that. So 4 minus 18, yeah? So 18, 17, 16, 15, so 1400 calories. So I can take up to 1200 to 1400 calories to to do a normal healthy weight loss. Okay, that's for the normal healthy weight loss. I can go beyond. I can cut off even from 800, or sorry, 900 to 1200 calories. I can only take up from 900 to 1200 calories per day, but that will be drastic weight loss. And I don't want to do drastic weight loss because a lot of people who do that feel so much weak, get sick sometimes because you're giving a shock to your body and you're depriving your body too much. So try not to go too much away from, so whatever your, if you have like, figure out what should be your calorie intake, average calorie intake, according to your BMI. And once you figure out your calorie intake, your normal calorie intake for every day for normal BMI, then figure out the lower limit of that, which is like, in my case it was 1800 calories or 1700 calories to maintain just the normal weight. So if I minus 400 calories from that, uh, you know, from that much calorie intake, if I minus 400 calories, whatever the number will be, I have to maintain that many calories. I think that will be the for the healthy weight loss. Yeah, bit tough. And by the way, you can figure out all this by Googling it. Okay, you don't have to be a doctor or what do you call? You don't have to be a scientist or something or lab assistant for this. Just figure out, guys. Do your research. That's all. You know your body the best. That's all. Because weight loss is not just to look beautiful. Weight loss is also for you to feel good about yourself. You'll feel good. You'll have less depression. If you're struggling with depression and stuff, especially when you're on hormones, weight loss will help you as well to maintain your good mental health as well. Noah, I used to be the plate cleaners for my exes. They used to leave the food in the plate, and I used to eat their food, finish their food and stuff. And that's what probably happened, how I started developing the big appetite. And then there was no way to slow down that big appetite. So try to control it. If they can't eat it, then you know your limits. Don't be like a vacuum cleaner for someone. Don't. Hi, C. How are you doing? Lovely to have you. Easy, if you're losing weight due to stress and anxiety, again, that's not healthy. So try not to be stressed and have that much anxiety. Figure out the cause of it and work towards it so that you don't have that much stress or anxiety. Always figure out the cause, guys, and work towards it. Because half of the time we know what's disturbing us. Subconsciously, we know what's disturbing us and where should we actually invest our concentration, but we choose to concentrate on something else because maybe that's easy to concentrate on rather than actually thinking about the problem. So figure out the problem, no matter how difficult it is, and concentrate on it and work towards it. Depression will go away. But focus on the right thing. Jean Genet. I'm 56 and 80 kgs, but fairly muscular. If I do put on weight, it goes to all the wrong places. Olive oil, cyan paper keeps cardio muscular cardiovascular system healthy, along with other healthy fats. Yes, healthy fat is good, but again, with healthy fat, guys, of course, it's so good to have extra virgin olive oil and all that, in your food, in your meals. I don't recommend the sunflower oil or anything or seed oil and stuff. That's really unhealthy. But even the healthy fat, which is like avocado or uh, olive oil and stuff, even they should be taken in limit. Your body needs fat, so take them, but take them in limit. So don't overdose them either, because after all, fat is a fat. Your body only needs a certain amount of fat. Give them, give your body that certain amount of fat, which is a good fat, but don't exceed that good fat as well, because when you exceed the good fat intake also, your body will only use a certain amount of it to good places, but most of it will go to bad places as well. So be careful. But I like your uh, thinking, Jean Genet. You're doing good, actually. Okay, that's good advice, actually. Easy try breathing techniques and meditation for stress. That's good advice as well, Jean Genet. Meditation for me doesn't do much. I tried meditation, to be honest. Meditation makes me feel like I don't give a damn about anything. So that in a way it's a good thing, but it makes me too calm. I can't I like my enthusiasm sometimes. It makes me too calm that I can't even I lose my passion sometimes when I'm too calm. I like being hyper because that allows me to do things. to want to do something. Like for example, YouTube. If I'm too calm, I feel like, huh, I don't give a damn about world. Who's gonna think about coming online and talking to anyone? Do you know what I mean? Like I become more of a hermit when I do a meditation. I don't want to become a hermit, at least right now, because I have to make memories, guys. But yeah, it is actually good for stress relief, because for stress relief it can really work out. Yeah. Austin, I'm not sure if I'll do live tomorrow, but I'll try. I'll try. Again, I'll try. Like what I say is, don't expect to lose weight instantly. Time and consistency is very important, guys. Don't try to see the results. A lot of people get discouraged of from losing weight within like 1 week, 3 days, 3 days to 1 week, um, or up to 3 month mark. So from 3 days to months, people it's so easy for people to uh, not see the result, and then they lose their will to lose weight. So I would say don't give yourself that target. Make it in a routine. That's why I say don't go for drastic weight loss, because when you do anything drastic, chances are you're challenging yourself too much, and it's so difficult to maintain, and you will lose interest very easily and very soon. So even if you don't, for example, if you are doing something that can help you maintain, like help you give up a little bit but not too much, it's not too much toll on your mental health and your body, so that you can maintain it for longer run. And if eventually, if your body wants can tolerate more, then you can push your body a bit more later on if you want to. But always start with little bit. Yeah, always start with a little bit. Yeah. हाय खान, थैंक यू यार. आई होप कि हम उर्दू में बात कर पाते. मेरा मूड अच्छा हो जाता. Haya, I'm still thinking about making videos, like making a different channel uh, in Urdu, where we can talk in Urdu basically. But I'm scared of making a Hindi Urdu channel, because if I make Hindi Urdu channel, chances are it will be suggested to my family, my relatives, and then my father will come to my room knocking my door and say, "What the hell are you doing? Everybody figure out your channel. Now you have to not be on YouTube," and I'll go through all that drama again. I don't want that, because that's what exactly happened in 2016 when I started making my videos and started documenting my transition. And then my father and my brother, after like few months, they started knocking my door, room door one day, and said, emotionally blackmailed me that they figured out my channel, and now I have to not be on YouTube because of the family reputation and honor and everything. Hmm. And then my work colleague also found out. So yeah, too much. That's the only reason. Yeah. Try to be around in 500 calorie deficit. Eating more calories than you burn will gain weight. Yes, yep, definitely. So, guys, when you lose weight, don't just rely on exercise much. No matter how much exercise you do, exercise can help you lose certain calories. Like, let's say 70% of your weight depends on what you eat. Yeah. If you only control what you eat, you're gonna start losing weight automatically. So, and exercise is important, obviously, because it can help you maintain and shape yourself, your skin. You don't want to have a loose skin when you're losing weight, right? So that's why exercise is very important, because it will give you more collagen, it will give you more tightness, it will maintain your skin as well, you know, make it healthy basically. Because some people, when they lose weight, what happens is their skin becomes too loose sometimes and unhealthy. Yeah. So yeah. So when you are exercising and you're walking while you're losing weight, along with the food and stuff, then your skin looks better as well at the same time. You look fresher. I'm a chef, lol. How hard and difficult to control. I'm same age and you. I'm 30 this year on 23rd of September. I'm Asian too. If you're a chef, the best thing is before whenever you go to work, okay, if you're a chef, if you work in food industry, I worked in food industry, okay, I've worked in, I'm not a chef, but I worked in hotels. And in hotels, the problem is I was a manager, especially I was a night manager, so I had a key of all the cold fridges. I had key for, like, I was allowed to eat whatever I want, and five-star meal, by the way. And it was all like my staff had to ask me if they wanted to eat something like sandwiches, the pizzas, the um, lasagna, the curries, too much, too much, everything, um, the steak and everything, yeah. But then for me, like I know if that was the case, then what I had to do was I still have to have a willpower. It's so important to have a willpower. When you want to lose weight, it's so important to have a willpower. And what gave me willpower was my health. Think about it. You're only 30. You're on HRT. Yeah? Think about it. I was an alcoholic as well. I had to quit alcohol. I was alcoholic. And guys, when I'm saying I was alcoholic, I'm not just saying, oh, I was drinking alcohol 1 glass a week or something. No, no, no. I was finishing I was that type of alcoholic who can finish like 3, 4 bottles in 3 days. I was that type of alcoholic. And I had to control my alcohol intake and everything. So now I don't drink alcohol at all. I don't. No. Because of alcohol, I started, like, at that time, I started peeing blood from my pee. I was drinking that much alcohol and literal blood. I got so worried I had to get checked. I had to get myself checked and all that. And I did. It affects your kidneys and everything. But it starts becoming better eventually when you stop it. It takes time though. But you have to recognize when it's the right time to do it, when it's not too late. So please look after yourself, guys. And if you drink, by the way, fizzy drink or Monster or fizzy drink, like energy drink or fizzy drinks, please do yourself favor. Do not drink that many fizzy drinks, including the energy drinks and all. That's the worst thing you can do. People think, oh yeah, I'm not drinking alcohol, but no, you're drinking fizzy drinks. Do you think how much weight you can gain just by fizzy drinks? How much carbs a fizzy drink contain? Even if it's a sugar-free fizzy drink, it contains so many carbs. You don't know. It's full of carbs. And what carbs does is, even if you eat a little bit amount of fat, what carbs gonna do is it's gonna convert that. It will make sure that fat will go on bad places. It will make sure that fat will definitely go to your body and not pass out. So yeah, yeah, definitely. Fix yourself, Haya. You're very young. You're 5 years younger than me, okay? So I'm just telling you because you are at the stage where I started gaining weight. You're just at that age right now where I started gaining weight, and it was so tough for me to get to where I am right now. Do yourself a favor. Don't neglect yourself because maintaining it is easy, but losing weight, trust me, it's not that easy. It's so difficult. You do need some special type of willpower, even like and the more you age, the more difficult it is to have that willpower. So if you are already seeing yourself, having that bad habits and stuff, control it, change it before it gets too late, because then it will be like, no, don't leave it till tomorrow. Start it from today. Everything in moderation. Yes, moderation is the key. Okay, Chandra, have a good night. Hollywood, Jobo, Joblomi. Do you know how one would bleach their, asking for a friend who is going to jail next? I don't bleach myself, guys. Why are you talking about bleaching your ugh? Are you joking or are you serious? Because no. And why would you need to bleach yourself in jail? Like, what does jail have to do with bleaching yourself? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to take you wrong, but that's just um out of nowhere, basically. But I don't, guys, I don't have any problem. I never bleached myself. Well, I bleached my hair when I was a kid because I thought bleaching makes your hair obviously. And in my teenage years, when I wanted to have blue gray hairs, I bleached my hair. But that's my head hair I'm talking about. Nothing else I bleached. No, so I don't know. Sorry. Hmm. Yeah, maybe. In future, like, and I'm not talking about that far away in future. I'm talking about maybe next week. I will do some membership lives only. Okay, and if I do membership lives, maybe I can speak in Urdu and Hindi in the membership lives. I can make some membership lives where I can talk about my breast growth as well because I think there's a lot I can talk about in the breast growth as well. Um, and if it's nicer for a lot of trans women who are transitioning and they want to really see the results, so it will be better to have the membership live. That way I'll be more comfortable showing a little bit. Of course, I'm on YouTube, so I'm not going to be like completely naked or topless or anything, but I can be a bit more revealing for the educational purpose, for the growth and other things. And yeah, that live. And I'll also talk about the Urdu live streams or Hindi live streams. Um, but that will be members only, unfortunately, because the benefit about members only is not everybody can watch it. So my family, obviously, they will never pay for it. They will never. Not even my relatives. Mm, they're not into all paying and stuff. Obviously, they will watch the videos that will pop up on their, feeds, but members only don't pop up as much on your feed and you can't watch it literally. So that's good. I have a lot to tell you so much and ask info on SRS. Sweden provides SRS free. You can shift there and check yours. Well, even UK provide SRS for free, but the kind of SRS UK provide, uh, that's not suitable for me. That's why I can't have it. Maybe I'll have a look. I'll have a look online what type of SRS Sweden provides, because if it is the case, then I can move to Sweden. There's no problem for me moving anywhere in Europe because I lived in Europe. I lived in Germany for a while. I can live in any other places in Europe. That's not a big deal for me. Like I can move tomorrow to Europe without any problem. Yeah, and because of my job, I can move it so easily. So I'll have a look. Okay. YouTube, Tijuana. Hi, thank you. Respect. You look beautiful. Very good shape, eyes, and very lived person. I have total respect for you, Gola. You have come a very long way. Great kind of. Oh, thank you, Shanjini. Same thing. It takes one to recognize one. Thank you. Please talk about HRT journey and yes, laser journey and breast growth and everything. Yeah, I will talk all about it, of course. On those, like, I'm talking about. I don't want to earn too much from members live only, but the reason why I want to restrict some of the live streams for members only so that I can talk a bit more personal stuff. Because on this live stream or any public live stream, if I talk too much details about like especially intimate stuff, then problem is I'll obviously get actioned or reported and stuff. But if I do it on members only, then I will know which people are watching. So I will be more in control, like who's watching, who's not watching, how they will take it. So I will have less chances of trolls, joining me and stuff. because I can accept whether I can accept the membership or whether I shouldn't. That will be up to me. I'll be more comfortable and I'll be more in control that way. So yeah, I'll definitely do something like that. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm on it, guys. I'm on it. I just want to complete my 4,000 hours, by the way, now. So I have like 150 hours. No, not even 150 hours. I have 100 hours to complete. 100 more hours to complete before I go get 4,000 hours completed on YouTube, and that will make my channel monetized. Right now my channel is only half monetized, so which means I can have members only live, and I can sell products and stuff if I want to sell any product on YouTube. um, but I don't want to sell anything on YouTube right now, you know. um, and members only, I was thinking about it, but I still haven't started it yet. I can start it like whenever I want to start, but I want to get it monetized, and I want to go further with that. Haya, that is a tough one, but but I'll figure out something. Okay, don't worry. If somebody can't pay, and if I know they are genuinely like struggling with some problems, I'll do some deals. Okay, don't worry. Alberto, hi. So guys, it's been like 2 hours, and my throat is going. You know, and thank you very much for joining in today. I really loved and enjoyed talking to all of you. It was fun. There were less people today, but it was fun still. Less people, but more fun. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate all of you guys who have been on my channel, who supported me so far, um, with your views, by the way, because I haven't taken any financial help from anyone. So I would still say thank you so much for you being sticking up with me, basically. So thank you so much for that, and it's been a great time with you guys. And please do subscribe if you can, if you haven't already, and like the live stream if you haven't already. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you. Hiya. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, my mods.